Feminism. The dreaded F-bomb. I thought this would be worth making a short video on, get this message out to a bigger audience. I had been touching on this topic on Twitter, much to everyone's chagrin. For the most part, this is not something that anyone's really in the mood to hear. Now, at one point, I would say that I was a lot more involved in the criticism of modern feminism than I am now. Not that I'm suddenly in favor of it. I quite frankly just moved on to other things. I see that now as kind of the anti-social justice 1.0. It's the topic that people stick to because it's easy and because they don't feel uncomfortable doing so. Whereas people in the community who are a bit more serious with their criticism moved on to race and Islam apologetics. But for that entire time, even at the peak of my critique of feminism, I have always hated the term anti-feminist. And I never felt it was an accurate description of who I am. Now, feminism is not a label that I take on very often. I think the label can be very situational. Depending on the circumstances I'm in, I will be more of a feminist than not. But the bottom line is I understand what the definition means. I understand the long history of social progress that accompanies this term. And I have never seen any need to throw the baby out with the bathwater on this one. Something I'm very struck by. People within any kind of anti-feminist sphere don't put up a fight, don't make a peep when problematic feminists like Anita Sarkeesian, for example, attempt to hijack this movement with this history, with this legacy of progress and liberalism. I see very little efforts to stop people like Sarkeesian from defining feminism. And if you want to talk critiques of feminism, I have plenty, and have been voicing those opinions for a long time. There's a lot of conflicting feminist theory, but it has most definitely intertwined itself in with whatever any original movement stood for. Also, the popular figures within any given feminist movement can be very indicative of what the movement stands for or what the movement is fighting for at any given time. So you'll have TERFs like Germaine Greer, very popular feminists, or you'll have people like Sarkeesian or Zoe Quinn. These people having a platform and being given money and time to speak, it does tell you something about the movement. I don't want anyone for a second to think that I am saying that feminism is guiltless or blameless. But to be an anti-feminist, to be against feminism in general, the world needs a feminist movement. Have you looked at the world around you? Even just here in the States, there is a never-ending battle against women's health care. Never-ending. A lot of people will make the argument, what do we need feminism for? You have equality. As if that's the only good that this kind of movement can accomplish. Obviously, the next step is to talk about societal attitudes about women. And in my mind, I think this was the original intention of third wave feminism. It went horribly wrong, of course. And they've spent most of their time complaining about Lara Croft's tits. But there are certainly trends of misogyny that are worth calling out. Keep in mind, we are just talking about the first world problems. The vast majority of this planet does not have women's rights, does not have any kind of women's liberation. And to call yourself an anti-feminist amidst all that is just 12-year-old on Call of Duty edgelord bullshit. I wanted to draw a quick comparison. The men's rights movement has a lot of problematic members, shall we say. People who I have had personal problems with, or people that I just simply dislike, or have horrible ideas, or are Islam apologists, Christian fundamentalists, or yes, in some cases, just raging misogynists. It does happen. Now, I have my criticisms of these people that I've made quite public, but that has never made me against identifying myself as an MRA, nor fighting for worthy MRA causes. I'm certainly not going to sit here and attempt to discredit all the work that the MRM has accomplished just based on these individuals. Now, their popularity is concerning. Them being given as big of a platform as they have is concerning. But I hope people who have listened to my videos about, say, the honey badgers, for example, understand that my criticism is coming from a good place. I am not anti-MRA. I would like to see the MRM succeed and thrive, have better representation, And going forward, I hope that people realize that that's my take on feminism as well. I want to see feminism succeed in the world. And that's really about all. I know this is a little off the beaten path, but please feel free, let me know what you think in the comments below. You guys are the best. Thank you for all the support. I'm actually curious as to what kind of response this is going to elicit, and I will see you in the next video.
Hey, Denny.
Chris R., I've been looking for you.
Yeah, sure you have. You have my money, right?
Yeah, it's coming. It'll be here in a few minutes.
What do you mean it's coming, Denny? Where's my money?